Nietzsche's most famous idea has been used to justify tyrants. It's also been used to build empires of self-discipline. So which is it? By the end of this video, you'll understand why almost everyone, including some very smart people, has gotten this concept wrong. And you'll walk away with a definition you can actually use. We live in a culture obsessed with finding our purpose. Vision boards, 5-year plans, comfort disguised as self-care. Nietzsche looked at that entire framework and said, "You're asking the wrong question. Life isn't fundamentally about comfort. It isn't even fundamentally about survival. It's about growth, expansion, the drive to become more than you currently are." He called this drive the will to power. And before we go further, let's clear something up. This is not a philosophy of crushing other people to get ahead. That version of the idea has been dragged through history by people who never understood it, including, tragically, by his own sister, who edited his unpublished notes after his death and twisted them to fit an ideology he would have despised. The real concept is stranger, more personal, and honestly, more useful. Let's break it down. 1. What will to power is not. Let's start by clearing the wreckage. Will to power is not brute domination over others. That's a corruption of the idea, not the idea itself. If someone tells you Nietzsche taught might makes right, they haven't read him. They've read a caricature. It's also not simple ambition, greed, or the chase for status and money. Those things can look like will to power, but Nietzsche would call them weak, reactive versions of it. Power borrowed from what other people think of you, rather than power built from within. And it's not a license for cruelty. The historical misuse of this idea, most infamously by 20th century ideologues who cherry-picked his language, is one of philosophy's great tragedies. Nietzsche's actual writings, and the scholarship since, make clear this was a distortion, not the doctrine. So if it's not domination, not greed, not cruelty, what is it? 2. What it actually is. Here's the plain language version. Will to power is the fundamental drive in every living thing to grow, to expand its own capability, and to overcome resistance. Not just to survive, to become more. Think about a plant. It doesn't just passively exist toward sunlight. It pushes through cracks in concrete to reach it. It bends, twists, and forces its way toward growth, even when the path of least resistance would be to stay small and safe. Nietzsche believed the same drive runs through us. And here's the part almost everyone misses. The power in question is, first and foremost, power over yourself, power over your excuses, power over your fear, power over the version of you that wants to stay comfortable. Before it's ever about the world, will to power is about self-mastery. This is where Nietzsche breaks from a lot of thinking that came before him, including, pointedly, from Darwin. Survival instinct says, protect yourself, avoid risk, endure. But Nietzsche looked at human behavior and saw something that didn't fit that model. People climb mountains that could kill them. People leave stable jobs to start businesses that will almost certainly fail. People pick fights with easy lives on purpose. Pure survival doesn't explain any of that. Will to power does. Nietzsche argued that survival is just a byproduct of a deeper drive. Organisms don't merely want to endure, they want to increase, to expand, to push past their current limits, even when it's dangerous. If you've ever felt inexplicably restless in a comfortable, safe life, that's not a malfunction. That's this drive, refusing to be satisfied with mere survival. You don't need a mountain to expedition to see this drive in action. It's in the small choices every day. It's choosing the harder workout when the easy one would technically still count. It's an artist obsessively refining a piece of work that nobody asked for and no one will pay extra for. It's taking on the project at work that scares you a little, instead of the one that's safe and forgettable. Here's a diagnostic Nietzsche essentially handed us. Pay attention to your boredom. When life gets too easy and you feel restless instead of relieved, that's the will to power. signaling that comfort isn't the same thing as fulfillment. There are two ways to respond to that restlessness. You can numb it, more comfort, more distraction, more scrolling. Or you can direct it toward a harder book, a harder conversation, a harder version of yourself. Same drive, two completely different outcomes. Now, the part that explains why this idea has such a bad reputation. Nietzsche had a word for what happens when this drive gets blocked: resentment. When people can't express their will to power constructively, when they feel powerless to grow or build, that energy doesn't disappear. It curdles. It turns into resentment, blame, and the compulsion to tear other people down instead of building yourself up. This is the crucial distinction. Healthy will to power looks like self-mastery and creation. Unhealthy will to power, really, its failure, looks like control, envy, and cruelty toward others. So when critics point to history's monsters and say, "See, this is what Nietzsche's philosophy leads to," they're actually looking at resentment, the exact failure state Nietzsche was trying to warn people away from, not the drive itself. So how do you actually use this? First, treat comfort with suspicion. Not as an enemy, but as a question. Regularly ask yourself, am I choosing this because it's easy or because it's actually good for me? Second, build small, deliberate acts of self-overcoming into your day. A hard conversation you've been avoiding, a cold shower, a workout you don't feel like doing, not as punishment, as practice. Each one is a rep for the muscle of self-mastery. Third, and this is the big one, redirect your competitive energy inward. Stop measuring yourself against other people's highlight reels. Compete against who you were yesterday. That single shift takes the exact same drive that produces resentment in others and turns it into something that only builds you up. Let's bring it together. Will to power isn't about dominating other people. It's the drive built into every living thing to grow, to overcome resistance, and to become more. And it starts with mastery over yourself. So here's the real question this leaves you with. The drive isn't optional. You have it, whether you use it or not. The only question is whether you aim it at yourself, or let it curdle and aim it at everyone around you. This week, pick one small act of self-overcoming, something a little uncomfortable, a little bit more. Drop it in the comments. I want to know what you're choosing. If this helped you understand Nietzsche without the academic jargon, go back and watch episode Nietzsche's 7 Brutal Truths that will make you mentally strong. It lays the foundation this video builds on. And subscribe, because the next one in this series goes even deeper.